They are Toastmasters. They are leaders of tomorrow. I know leaders learn from everywhere. From everywhere they spend time. One of the places you spend most of your time is social media. I'm going to reveal a fact about social media tonight. I believe you didn't know that. Social media make us fascist. Did you know about that? Did you know? No. Yes, because no one is thinking about that. No one is talking about that social media makes us fascist. Well, to begin with, in the school for the first time, when I read about fascism in the 20th century, it engaged my mind for a long time. At that period of the time, people were not free to say, to sing, to wear, to think for themselves. But instead, they must do what they were compelled to do. I was thinking how disappointing world it is to live in such world. Well, in the past. Let's think about present. It is expected that fascism has no place in the 21st century. Or maybe it's very scarce, just in some sporadic areas in the world. I think we in the 21st century, we are exposed to a much larger, much dangerous form of fascism that is promoted by social media, and I call it modern fascism. To explain it, could you please? There is a quote from Jim Rohn that says, we are average of 5 people that we spend most of our time with. That is very true. Let's think for a moment, for 5 seconds, about people who got the most influence on you. I believe there in your mind it will come Facebook friends, Instagram friends, YouTubers, real life friends. In one way or another, they are changing your life. They are changing your mind. They are changing everything in you. Since social media is changing your life, controlling your life, I think it's promoting fascism. But the only difference is that in classic fascism, you're directly told what to do. But in modern fascism, you do not understand what we are doing. To go deeper, to explain it more, let's go to the next slide. No, it's okay. Yes, here. Here you can see how we are communicating in social media. These dots are the people. And this line shows our communication in social media. This communication is in the form of following and reading the content that our friends share with us. If we get track of this information, finally we get to this point. I call it the center of this network. All of the propaganda, new information, everything gets originated to this point. And it is sharing to us in social media. Today, 7.7 billion people are living in this world. 4.4 billion people are using internet, and 3.5 billion people are using social media. Next slide. Time spent in social media in the last 5 years has increased about 40%. Today, in 2019, we are using social media every day, 2 hours and 16 minutes. It's 40% increase in the last 5 years. Daily, our minds receive 34 GB information. You know, it's equal to 120 hours watching film, watching movie. It's 34 GB. While our minds processing it's 50 bytes per second. It means we are receiving 65,000 more information than our minds processing ability. How we are dealing with this huge amount of information. However, an American psychologist during an experiment found out that as much information we receive, our mind's processing ability gets deteriorated and it gets lower. As most of this information comes from social media, we are not enabling to calculate, our minds are not enabled to calculate whether this information is right or wrong. They are just accepting. Let's look at an example. In the social media, fashion has its own definition. Wearing specific clothes, having a specific hairstyle, having a specific body form, is fashion. When we see it for the first time, we either hate it or we like it. When we see it for the second time, we are trying to accept it. When we see it for the third time, we are trying to change ourselves. We change our appearance. After a few times, we see that we become the kind of person that we saw on the internet and the social media. This changing process is very similar in everything, our ideology, everything. Somebody's, with another slide, one more slide. Somebody is sitting in the center of network, like shown you on the second slide. Somebody is sitting there making up ideology and the power of themselves, but damaging for other people. They are spreading this information, this ideology in the social media, and we are accepting them after a few times. We become a new person. We change our own values, replacing them with other values, strange values that might be harmful for us. To sum up the speech, whether we want it or not, we will be exposed to these fascistic ideas. It's incumbent upon us to ask ourselves where this information come from, what is the hidden purpose in this course, in this information, whom I am following, what information I am looking for to have a healthier use of social media. My last word is use social media wisely. Thank you.